Okay, so let me show you guys something. I've already done a few videos on Johnny Maurer. So if you search Johnny Maurer, you'll see update on Scientologist predator Johnny Maurer. You'll see Scientology covered up Johnny Maurer's crimes. You'll see Scientology caught covering up crimes against 5 underage staff members. For those of you not already familiar, Johnny Maurer was a Scientology staff member, if I recall correctly, out of the Sacramento organization. And he was a very effective fundraiser. And he was committing child SA against a number of boys on a little non-Scientologist boys on a little league team that he was involved in coaching. And he was also committing child SA on a whole host of underage Scientology staff members because since Johnny was such a good fundraiser, Scientology would actually send him from org to org to org to org in the Western United States to help train their staff members on certain fundraising techniques. Now, a good portion of Scientology staff members are under the age of 18. And so Johnny ended up having a whole bunch of inappropriate sexual activity with child Scientology staff members all over the West US as facilitated by Scientology itself. And then when Scientology learned that Johnny Maurer was doing these things, what did they do? Did they report him to the authorities? Of course not, guys. Don't be silly. Scientology doesn't do that. They sent him to Clearwater, Florida, where there are more Scientology children per capita than any other city in the world. So they secretly declare Johnny Maurer a suppressive person. They send him to Clearwater. And because they're treating him, it's funny, he's getting special VIP treatment. Guys, being secretly declared is special treatment, but Johnny Maurer is not a celebrity. Why is Johnny Maurer being treated like a celebrity with this secret declare? Imagine a world, imagine a cult in which a child predator is given the same sort of special kid gloves treatment that like a celebrity VIP is. Imagine that. You can't tell the difference between a VIP being given special treatment and a child predator being given special treatment because Scientology behaves how it behaves only out of self-preservation. It doesn't want Johnny going around talking to people about what he did. It wants to keep Johnny close. They don't really want to kick him out because if they kick him out, he could run around and talk to people. How do you keep Johnny Maurer from talking to people about all the kids he abused? You keep him close. So how do you keep him close? You declare him, but it's a secret declare. So you bring him to Clearwater, you make sure he's got a job, you make sure he's making money, and you make sure he doesn't really have to disconnect from his daddy, Mike Maurer. Now, Mike Maurer is a long-term Scientologist, former Sea Org member, worked on the Apollo back in the days of L. Ron Hubbard on the flagship Apollo, the early days of the Sea Organization. And so they tell Johnny, you can stay connected to your daddy, Mike, but only at work. Okay. That's what we're going to only stay connected at work. You can talk to your dad at work. You can see him at work. You guys can work together. But outside of work hours, the disconnection policy applies until you're back into good standing with Scientology. Okay, Johnny? Does that work for you, Johnny? Now, since my videos, they have scrubbed Johnny from the website, of course, but the internet lives forever, you guys. If you Google Maurer Teamwork, you'll see Michael Maurer is the CEO and founder of Teamwork Commerce. Jonathan Maurer is his son, the vice president of operations at Teamwork Commerce. And I'm just guessing that Carmen Maurer is Michael's wife, but you know, the details of that don't matter right now. Just for any more evidence of Johnny Maurer's connection to this company, Teamwork Commerce, we even have, as of a year ago, Johnny Maurer, VP Operations, Teamwork Commerce. They launched a podcast, folks. Isn't that adorbs? 1 year ago, it has a whopping 176 views. Johnny Maurer, VP of Operations. And there you go. They're very much trying to scrub Johnny Maurer's connection to the company, but it exists. It's not going anywhere. And they scrubbed this from the website, but here it is. Johnny Maurer, working for a company that is helping change the landscape for retailers internationally, is also one of the greatest challenges I've faced, but also has been one of the most rewarding activities I've ever been a part of. From the top down, we work together as a close-knit team, continuously improving our solution to help our clients operate across all channels of commerce seamlessly. I love this game. I bet you do, Johnny Maurer. Better to be working for Teamwork Commerce than it is rotting in a prison for all of the children that you have committed SA against. Okay. Let me see. Just some more information, just because we're playing show and tell here. The about section where you try to find the staff where the staff used to be, they've scrubbed all of the staff except for the CEO. Michael Maurer, founder and CEO, Teamwork Commerce. For 3 decades, I've participated in the creation of technology products that change commerce forever. And the pace of that evolution has only accelerated. It demonstrates to me that survival and expansion depends on embracing the technical evolution. All right, fine. Nice. My understanding is that this is quite a successful company, actually. I don't know. Let's look at some LinkedIn profiles here. Okay. Because maybe it's not just Johnny's life that needs to be made uncomfortable. Maybe it's the other Scientologists that are protecting this child predator. Maybe Michael Maurer needs to go to his son, Johnny, and say, Johnny, all the kids that you abused and the fact that the Scientology cult covered it up and the fact that we're all sort of complicit in it, it looks like that has a very serious potential to destroy our company and our reputation. Johnny, I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you to go to the FBI. Johnny, I want you to go to the FBI, because here's the real message. I'm going to speak for my own personal opinion. I'm not going to actually claim to speak on behalf of anyone else. My own personal opinion here. The authorities, the local authorities, the federal authorities do not care about prosecuting some individual Scientologist who has committed a crime. They care about being able to use that information in those circumstances to document the systemic cover up of child SA throughout Scientology as an organization as a matter of policy. It is my belief and my personal understanding that the federal authorities would like to document that Scientology has a policy of silencing victims and covering up crimes against children. This is not a matter of religious belief. This is a matter of policy that is directly of internal policy that is directly contrary to public policy. Okay, these are the kinds of things along with identity theft, wire fraud, credit card fraud, etc. These documented cases of covering up child SA, these are the things that have teeth. We're talking about actual crimes against children. We're not talking about clowns who want to scam our community and our audience to raise money to rent ground penetrating radar to map the child trafficking tunnels under L. Ron Hubbard Way. Clowns like that are scam artists and con artists and distractions to what former Scientologists are actually trying to do to actually get Scientology held accountable. Okay. So when I'm talking about Michael Maurer should probably go to his son, Johnny, and say, Johnny, you're going to screw me. You're going to screw my company. I want you to go to the feds and I want you to offer to cooperate. And I want you to say, this is what I did. Exact time, place, form, and event, just like you would do in Scientology. But more importantly, this is how it was discovered. This is how I was interrogated about it by Scientology. This is who interrogated me about it. This is how long I was interrogated about it. This is who the reports were sent to. This is the ethics officer I was dealing with. This is the person in the Office of Special Affairs I was dealing with. This is the person who gave me my secret declare. This is the person who sent me to Clearwater. And this is the person that I'm working with on my A to E steps. And this is the person who told me to never talk about this. Johnny, the feds don't care about you. They care about the 20 other people like you and how Scientology knew all about it and actively covered it up, just like they did with Danny Masterson. So if I have to make your life and your father's life and your company's life so miserable for as long as it takes before the least painful option is for either you guys to sue me so I can use all of the discovery and turn that over to the authorities, or you can just cooperate. And that would be the best for you. It would be the best for your victims. It would be the best for society. And it would be the most effective thing if you even care about Scientology, which I don't, but maybe you do. It would be the most effective thing to get Scientology to stop covering up for child SA victims. I don't care if Scientology reforms. I'd rather see Scientology completely fail, which they're doing anyway. But if you Scientologists out there are so concerned that, oh my God, in order to protect Scientology, we've got to keep covering up all these crimes. Wrong. You've got to make it so painful for Scientology to keep covering up these crimes that Scientology actually expels people who commit these crimes and reports them to the authorities. That's what would be better for everyone. It's even what would be better for Scientology, even though I couldn't possibly care less about that.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not,